In this video we're going to be taking a look at some funny Star Wars custom card backs and box art that could be classed as Star Wars memes. Hey there Star Wars fans, my name's Tim and welcome to another Bosk's Bounty video. Today's video is something a little bit different as we're going to be taking a look at some funny Star Wars memes in the shape of custom card backs that I thought were pretty funny and creative all at the same time. I'm sure some of you have already seen some of these, but hopefully I've managed to dig up some that you've never seen before and that you find funny. And just in case you are watching, I apologise now for not giving you credit to any of the people who created these. It was pretty hard to find out the original source, however feel free to contact me and I'll add you in the description below so you can take the credit. After the funny ones, I'll take a look at one or two more serious ones that I think are well worthy of this video, and if one of them upsets any Last Jedi fans then I apologise now. With that being said, if you like this video, please make sure you drop a like down below and let's get on with the first card back. Up first, and what better place to start with one I'm sure most of you have already seen, but it's a classic and of course it's Uncle Owen's charred remains. Bit of a dark subject, but I still think this one is pretty amusing and sets the tone for this video nicely. As we can see, we have an Owen Last skeleton figure inside a bubble on a Star Wars chase card, which is nice. Great image on the card back, straight from the movie, which you know I love. Moving on, how can we have Uncle Owen without Aunt Beru? Again, no expense spared on the creation of this one, with the figure looking a pretty good sculpt. Not quite sure on the articulation on this one though, as unfortunately I do not have it loose. Now, when I first saw this one, it did make me chuckle. It's quite a clever concept and hats off to whoever created it. And here it is, the Force on vintage style card. Again, nice Star Wars card back. Not sure on the image as I can't confirm if this is what the Force actually looks like. But as you can see, the figure inside the bubble is pretty much perfect representation of the Force. So well done Hasbro for nailing this one. Of course, as you know, the Force is a dark side. And as with the Force, we have managed to capture it perfectly on a vintage style card. Nice bit of Force lightning on the card back, and once again they have nailed the sculpt of the figure. Next up, and continuing on with the pretty dark themed card backs that we've had, is the Planet Alderaan, or at least some of the remains of Alderaan. Nice card back with the very moment the blast from the Death Star took the planet out, and as you can see the bubble there is full of pieces of the blown up Alderaan. Another creator had the same idea as you can see in this image, this time creating the classic Kenner style box with an image of the exploding Alderaan. Plus the set looks like it comes with what looks like volcanic rocks, which were probably caused by the heat of the explosion. Still continuing with the dark theme, we have a brand new figure in the line. In fact, I'm pretty sure this one has never been made. It is of course the Dead Ewok. As you can see, the little guy is there in his bubble in a bit of a heap. It's just a bit of a shame that they didn't go with the correct card back, as we all know this Ewok should be on the Return of the Jedi card back. Still, at least they got the image right, and once again taken straight from the film, which I love. On to something a little bit more light-hearted. Now this is the milk creature from The Last Jedi. Now what I love about this one is the sheer effort that has gone into the production. The box art looks great with the Star Wars and Last Jedi logo, and the image really does look like something Hasbro would create. I love the now includes Luke's milk bottle sticker. That really does set it off with that vintage look. You have the Luke Skywalker figure not included down on the bottom there, which is another classic thing that was present on all vintage vehicles and creatures back in the day. But the best thing about this is the creature was actually created. I mean, the guy actually sculpted the creature. You can see the process here on this image that I'm just going to show you now. Now I do know who created this, so a big shout out to John Debono-Cullen. I will leave his website and Instagram in the description below, so go check him out. Even if you love The Last Jedi, you have to admit that this is a pretty good attempt at Mickey taking something that a lot of people take way too seriously. Back now to a vintage style card back, and here we have another planet. This time the forest moon of Endor. Unlike the Dead Ewok, this has been put on the correct Return of the Jedi card back, and if you look inside there in the bubble, an actual piece of Endor. This must be an exclusive or something, I've never seen it before, and I bet it goes for a ton on the secondary market. Next up we have a few from The Empire Strikes Back, and again we are going down the dark side, which seems to be a recurring theme with these custom card backs. This time we have the Tauntaun remains. Great card back this one with the Wumpa there with a piece of Tauntaun in his hand, plus some more remains lying on the floor. Inside the bubble we have some bones with some nice paint apps to resemble the blood, once again on the correct Empire Strikes card back, which is always nice to see. Staying with the Tauntaun, we have another Empire Strikes Back card back, this time with the Tauntaun guts. Now I don't know about you, but I always remember watching The Empire Strikes Back as a kid and thinking that it was pretty disgusting when Han slices open the Tauntaun with Luke's lightsaber. In fact, I can remember when it was aired on TV, they actually cut it out, it was so disgusting. As you can see, we have what looks like maggots in the bubble, which I guess are supposed to resemble the intestines of a Tauntaun. Next up, we have one that might please a few people. It's the demise of Snoke. Now, nice card back on this one with an image straight from the film. We love that. As you can see, it's the very second Snoke gets sliced in half. Great figure in the bubble, which looks very much like the Vintage Collection version, just broken in two. Not really any loss there, as a replacement can easily be found in most toy shops. This next one is another one that I think is quite clever and is actually something I would think about buying. It's Darth Vader's melted mask. Now, this one looks like it may have been made after the trailer for The Force Awakens, as the logo doesn't seem quite right. But still, great effort, and I love the mini bubble that the mask sits in. Lovely image on the card back too. I really did like the concept of the melted Darth Vader's mask, and I think they did a really good job of putting it on that card back. I think it looks great. Continuing with the Darth Vader's mask theme, and on to the next one, we have Luke Skywalker's vision in the cave. Again, such a great idea, and the image on the card back is just perfect. Shame it's not on an Empire Strikes Back card, but still, it looks great. And I even like the way they've actually created the damaged mask with Luke's face in it. Truly awesome, and again, it's something I would really consider owning. Next up, we have a few others that I found that can't really be classed as memes. They seem to be actual creations that kind of take the mick out of what Hasbro would consider making. And this one is of young Boba Fett holding his dad's severed head. So as you can imagine, this would be a pretty weird figure to own. A bit on the dark side as per usual, but again, nice little creation. I quite like this one. And I also found this one, which is one of the monsters from the game that they play on the Millennium Falcon. The name of the game escapes me, so let me know in the comments what that game is called. I don't really want to try and pronounce it. But this guy is called Quinton Strider and is one of the monsters. Again, it looks like he has been sculpted and looks great in the bubble. And lastly, we have a custom image which will no doubt divide opinion. Regardless of what I actually think of The Last Jedi and Luke Skywalker's story arc, I can't help but love this image. They have taken the upcoming Vintage Collection Loot Crate card back and changed the blue name pill and background behind the figure to green, and also given him the green lightsaber. I think it looks flipping awesome, but then again, I think the real version looks cool too. I guess it just shows what they could have done. I'm pretty biased though, because I've always loved that green lightsaber in Return of the Jedi. Either way, it's a great mock-up, and I'd be very happy to have both side by side on the wall of my figures. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, just something a little bit different and something I thought would make a good video. Thank you very much for watching as always. Be so kind to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new, and we shall see you on the next one.